She
Yeah,
knows
okay,
it
right. So, I'm waiting for the thing
more than I
here,
do.
waiting. Haha. Good morning, y'all. It is, I don't know, it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's
Hi,
Wednesday, I know.
dudes.
It is Wednesday. It is Breakfast with BearHeart, live from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, jazz hands. So we have a little bit of an interesting show for you this morning. Ricky is out. She had a very, very, very important thing to do this morning, which everybody is super excited about, and we're not going to tell you. Ha!
Ha
So we're
ha.
like we're like vague booking, but live on a
We're,
stream
we're
that's not just
gatekeeping.
on. Yeah, yeah. Um, this is my latest T-shirt, which has my
I am
self-portrait on it.
obsessed.
I might make a few more of these in some different colors. I don't know.
I really want a hat because it's like a hatception.
So do you want this on a hat or do you want this on a hat?
That's tough. I just like the irony of wearing a hat, of you wearing a hat.
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, you
You
know
know?
what? I think I did. Yeah, I did have one made and it's
Okay.
just not here yet.
Okay. I will
Because,
wait
yeah, the
patiently.
idea of me wearing a hat,
It doesn't
yeah.
get better.
Yeah, and I should actually make that one with a hat with this drawing on the hat. That would be the thing. And
I love that.
that's a great idea. I'm going to do that.
A
All right.
hatception.
All right. In lieu of Ricky being here, I thought I'd show off my latest guitar. So this is not actually my latest guitar. This is a guitar that I purchased off of eBay several years ago, and it it was not in great shape when I got it. This is for those who don't know, this is a Gibson ES 335. It's one of the most popular guitars that Gibson ever made. It's a lot of the great rock and roll stars played them. A lot of the great blues guys played them. It is the quintessential blues rock guitar, right? And which is pretty much the kind of music that I play. Pardon,
Quintessential.
Kirsten? You were saying something.
I said quintessential.
Quintessential, yes, that's our word of the day. Um, and so I took it back to my bench yesterday. Um, I had gone to see Oppenheimer during the day, which is a 3-hour movie, and I'm just going to say Oppenheimer is really, really great, but I don't know if it'll make sense if you haven't seen Barbie first. You know how people are joking about Barbenheimer? So you
That
really,
was very convincing.
yeah. But no, seriously, it's a really great movie. If you've got a spare 3 hours sitting around, I strongly recommend that you see it in a theater that uses real film and not digital, because the color gradients, the switching between color and black and white, all of this, it works really, really well on film, and I can't imagine it working anywhere near as well on digital. I'm a purist. I think about those things and I notice those things. A lot of people won't, frankly, give a shit, which is fine. Just go see it. Um, but I mean, it tells a very interesting, thought-provoking, and tragic story of the guy who was in charge of the Manhattan Project, um, J. Robert Oppenheimer, who was. It's based on a biography of him called American Prometheus, which some people actually used to call him the American Prometheus. Prometheus was the god who stole fire from the sun and then was relegated to Hades or something for it. And I mean, that's literally what the Manhattan Project did. It stole fire from the sun. Anyway, he was a tragic figure, and this is the story of some of the tragedy of his life, and it is really, really brilliant. It is not about the Manhattan Project. It's not about the bomb, although it has some spectacular footage, which people talk about because, it's a modern movie and you got to show the spectacular footage. But anyway, that's Oppenheimer. And I did see Barbie first, so I was fully prepared.
So it all made
Um,
sense.
This is so I'm
Love that.
gonna talk about my guitar now a little bit. All right. So when I got it, you know, I played it on a few tracks, and you know, it's a great rhythm guitar. Um, you know, for like blues stuff, like, you know, why is there no sound music in that? So anyway, I mean, you know, that's the kind of stuff that it's commonly used for. You know, Eric Clapton played one for a long time, and you know, did lots of bluesy stuff with it.
You gotta move closer to the
Remember how all these
microphone.
girls were. So, but when I got it, it wasn't in great shape. And, you know, I played it on a couple of tracks and it was fun, it was interesting, but it mostly hung on the wall back there. And I haven't played it much, you know, in the several years that I've had it. And I thought, you know, last night I had a little time after seeing Oppenheimer. I was not ready to go straight to bed. And I had had a little snack, and I can't really go to bed after a snack. I mean, 3 hour movie, come on. I mean, whose brilliant idea was that? And so
Avatar, Titanic, any of the Avengers
all
movies.
of all of those movies would have been better with 30, 40 minutes cut off of them.
I agree, especially when you bring small children with you because they were really
Yeah.
excited.
And I
about
can,
the
you
movie.
know, I mean, as much as I enjoyed Oppenheimer, it's not a 5 star movie for me. It's a 4 star movie. It's a great movie, but it was long by a third. I think they could have told the story well, and you know, not taken up so much of my time. All your life. So, you know, after that, I wasn't really ready to just go to sleep. So I went over to my bench, and this guitar was sitting on the bench because I had taken it apart earlier in the day to see, you know, all of what the deal was. Part of it, did I mention the bridge already? They had put, I don't remember if I was just
Nope.
an hour earlier. Okay, yeah. So you'll notice, I can't do that. So you'll notice that this bridge is a different color. It's a gold color bridge, and the rest of the hardware is all chrome. So there's basically 3 different colors of hardware that you, well, 4 different colors of hardware that you can get on a guitar. You can get chrome, you can get nickel, which looks silvery, but it's not as shiny and brighty and, you know, reflective-y as chrome. You can get gold, and you can get black. And you know, I've got guitars with all those different kinds of hardware on them because, you know, when I build a guitar from scratch, I'm like, okay, you know, what color do I want here? What color do I want there? You know, this guitar came, you know, out of the factory with chrome hardware on it, and but the people that owned it before me, whoever that was, or somebody down the line, had replaced the bridge, the original bridge, with a different bridge, and it was a knockoff bridge. It wasn't a Gibson bridge, and it was, so Gibson has 2 different kinds of bridges that more or less look like this. This is the Nashville bridge. The original bridge that Gibson used on their earlier guitars was called ABR1, which adjustable bridge something or other -1, and a lot of people, they think, oh, I'm going to have a 335, I need an ABR1 bridge. and not the stupid Nashville bridge. Well, the reason that Gibson stopped using the ABR bridge and instead invented the newer, better, improved Nashville bridge, they call it Nashville bridge because they built them in Nashville, is because the ABR bridge was flawed. Also, the distance between the posts is different by a fraction of an inch. And so somebody had taken an ABR bridge, not even an original Gibson one, but a knockoff one, and jammed it in there, even though it didn't fit. And so I had to like pry that thing out. And then the only Nashville bridge I had kicking around was this gold one. So I stuck the gold one on there. I've ordered a chrome one, but I think I'm going to leave the gold one because I think it looks kind of cool. Also, Gibson uses these, they call them the top hat knobs, and they're like narrower at the top and wider at the bottom with the little numbers on them, and I hate those. And so these are called speed knobs. They're the same diameter all around. They're much easier to grab, and I mean, they're better for performance, right? They kind of look like the top hats because they've got that, you know, that sort of, it's like it's got a top hat inside with the molding of the thing on the outside. And so I placed it with these, and I have a tradition on my guitars. I always make one knob a different color. And Ricky was here yesterday, and I asked her, so pick the colors for the knobs. I put a bunch of knobs out. She says, okay, these for most of them, but use the black one for the different one and put it in that spot. And so in honor of Ricky, who couldn't be with us today, I put that knob there, and I used the knobs that she suggested. And so we did that. You know, I'm noticing that the, yeah, I'm not going to change that. Okay. I put locking tuners on it. I always like locking tuners. So this is the thing with guitar tuners. So you notice that these have this little knob on them, this little knurled knob, which locks the string in place. So people complain that their guitars go out of tune while they're playing them, especially if they bend the strings a lot. My guitars do not go out of tune. My guitars do not go out of tune when I do that. And the reason for that is I always use locking tuners. Now, people have all kinds of superstitions around guitar tuners and how you're supposed to put the strings on. Most people, when they put the strings on, they like tie a little knot at the post, and that's supposed to keep the string from slipping. And it kind of works, but not really. It works great with nylon strings, but with steel strings, it doesn't really, because the strings, you know, they're smooth and they don't grab each other. The lower strings are wound, and so those kind of. The purpose of locking tuners, so it's hard to show you this, but you see the little post where the string wraps around, right?
Mm-hmm.
The string comes up to the post. So there's a little hole, and you put the string in the hole, and then you tighten down the lock, and it puts and it locks the string in place with a little pin against the string. And so I don't have to wrap the strings all around the post at all. I put them in like that. I tune it up. I snip the end off, and I'm done. I can take this guitar, put it in its case, drive over to a club, open its case, take it out, get up on stage, and it'll still be in tune.
Wow.
I mean, because of, you know, temperature, humidity changes, I might need to, you know, I might need to adjust the tuning a little bit, but I mean, I can play a 3-hour gig. Well, not that I can stand that long anymore. When I was younger, and the guitar will still be in tune. I can use my guitars with a whammy bar, and you know, the guitar will still be in tune. Locking tuners, really great shit. So
Shameless plug.
pardon?
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. So what else did I do? So this is the stop bar, and I've ordered a new one because somebody had tried to use the wrong screwdriver on it, and it's like all chewed up, and it kind of scratches my hand as my hand rubs over it. So I've ordered a new one of those. And then I just, you know, oh, and the neck relief. This is another interesting subject most people don't know about. A guitar neck is not supposed to be perfectly straight. And you'll notice that there's a very, very slight bow, right? There's look at it really, you know, look at it really closely, you can see a very, very slight bow. It's hard to see. I measure it, you know, I measure it with a tool, and it really should be, you know, like a millimeter at most. Um, and this one is still not exactly correct. The people who had worked on this guitar before, they had messed up the neck relief so bad. And there's a little behind this little cover here. There's a little nut at the end. There's a truss rod inside the neck. There's a rod, which is slightly bent, and you turn it, and it adjusts the relief of the neck so that, you know, it either bows this way or it will bow back. And so I had to, it was really, really badly bowed, and the nut at the end of the truss rod was all chewed up. I could barely get the tool on it. I mean, ideally, I would need to change the truss rod, and I ain't gonna do that. That's like a lot of work. You got to take the fretboard off. I mean, it's a massive amount of work, and I ain't gonna do that. I was able to get it adjusted, and hopefully I never have to adjust it again. So I had to do all of that and then get everything, you know, set up properly. The people who had done the last setup just didn't know how to do it. There is a sequence of events, the proper way to adjust the action of a guitar. Neck relief always goes first. You always have to get the neck straight, and you want it perfectly straight minus a very, very small bow, you know, like a millimeter at most. Some guitars with compound radius necks, you want a little bit more relief. A lot of my guitars have compound radius necks. It makes it easier to, you know, bend up at the high registers. Yeah, so first you do the neck relief, then you adjust the height of the bridge so that the strings, you put the high E and the low E on, and then you adjust the height of the bridge so that the strings, you can fret them without, you know, up at the upper registers, you can fret them all the way up and all the way down without any buzz. And if your frets are level, and these frets are not entirely level, they're pretty close. I didn't have the tool. I'm going to get one for leveling frets, and then I'll take it back. Somebody also changed the frets, and they didn't dress the ends of them properly. I had to dress the ends of them. The original Gibson frets are very flat. They're not as pronounced as these. Whoever adjusted this guitar, they did not know what they were doing, and they did not appreciate the beauty of this instrument that they had in their incompetent hands.
Or maybe they weren't as advanced as you are.
No, they had no idea what they were doing. They were not professionals. I guarantee no professional would have set it up the way that they did. The bridge was super high. The neck relief was way off. Anyway, so after you get the neck relief, then you adjust the height of the bridge, and then you put strings on it and you adjust the intonation. And the intonation is such that when you take the harmonic at the 12th fret, which is the 1-octave harmonic, I'll do a higher one so you can hear it, and then you fret it, it has to be the same pitch. If it's not, there's little adjustments to move the individual saddles on the bridge this way and that way, because you'll notice that the saddles, I don't know if you can see, the saddles are not all lined up in a row. They can't be. The strings have different diameters. There's thinner strings in the high notes and fatter strings in the low notes, and they're going to resonate differently. And that adjustment on the bridge is how you get the intonation correct. Once you've done all of those things, your guitar is going to play like a dream. I also, you know, I opened it up. I wanted to see what these pickups were and whether I really wanted to change them or not. I'm not a pickup snob. A lot of people are. They're like, oh, you know, you want this kind of tone from your pickups. And I'm like, you know what? I mean, I've been playing for 60 something years. I sound good on any guitar, I really do. But I wanted a kind of an authentic, you know, tone. So I was thinking about getting some Seymour Duncan They sell these. They call them Seth Lever pickups. They're wound by exactly the same guy on exactly the same machine that the early Gibson pickups were wound on, and they sound great. And I'm going to be putting some in my my other semi-hollow body, my 345 that I'm building. Um, but you know, I opened this up and I saw that these are Seymour Duncan pickups. They're not the Seth Levers, but they're another really good one. They're one that's like made to look aged. Somebody put these in and they wanted them to look aged, and so they bought these aged looking pickups, which I think is hilarious. People like their guitars to look aged. It gives them some street cred or something if they haven't actually been playing for 60 years. So
Did you say 60 years?
Yeah. So I don't remember not knowing how to play a guitar. I don't remember not having a guitar in my hands. Um, my family tells me I got my first guitar when I was 3 years old. I'm now 66.
Okay.
So I also don't remember not knowing how to read music and play a little piano. I also don't remember that. I'm told I had piano lessons when I was like 4 or 5. One of the weird things about autism, and this isn't true in all autistic people, but one of the common symptoms is that you're late in learning how to speak. I was not late in learning how to speak. I was late in having a reason to speak. My family says that I never spoke a word. They were very worried. I never spoke a word until I was 4 years old. And then I spoke an entire sentence, which was, "Charlie, give me back my cookie." Charlie was the dog. And Charlie had stolen my cookie. I don't remember this. This is a story I wrote. So, probably some of that same stuff is I really don't remember very much at all before I was about 12 years old. I've heard stories. I remember a few incidents, which were, very memorable incidents. But, other than that, I don't really have a lot of memories from before then. And I attribute it to the autism. It might have been, the traumatic, home setting. I don't know. But anyway, so anyway, this is, I'm not sure what I'm gonna name her, but this may become my blues guitar, or one of my blues guitars. This in a Strat, or one of my custom Strats.
Not to be rude, but I really don't like that there's a naked spot on your wall now that guitar is down.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll have to fix that.
Not a fan.
I
My
have like 4 or 5 other guitars on like individual racks around here. I could just pick one up and put it up on the wall. I really hadn't thought of it, and I should, because that is my background for the. When you said naked, I thought you were talking about the naked lady over here.
No. We love her. We love Christina Aguilera. We do
That
not.
is Christina Aguilera with a blue PRS custom. And this guitar here is the same guitar in a dark red. It's the same guitar
love
as
naked.
she's playing over there. Although Christina is not playing this guitar, so it's not anywhere near as cool. That poster is actually signed. I was not the one who had it signed. I bought it with her signature already on it. Kirsten is apparently frozen. Oh, she's back.
Back, sorry.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
You're frozen like this.
Kirsten is in a new home, having recently moved from the old undisclosed location to a new undisclosed location. And it's kind of out in the boonies, and they don't have good internet. She's on the list to get a Starlink, and it's supposed to happen sometime this year. We don't really know when or trust those predictions. But yeah, until then, she may be. We've got just a couple minutes left. Do you want to do one puzzle?
I was thinking about it, but also throughout this entire live, I've gotten more and more anxious about doing this without reading.
We can save it for Ricky. Okay. We'll do one quick one here. Teddy bear. Cuddle me real tight, oh let me be. Teddy Oh, it's like y'all have a great day. We will see you tomorrow morning, same bat time, same bat channel, live from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. Love you. Bye.